Welcome to the USFL Network. This is the first episode of Talking with Hype. We are talking NFTs and the USFL. My guest joining me tonight is Bro at Pros NFT. You can find him on Twitter. Thank you for joining me tonight, Bro.
All right. Well, thank you so much for having me, man. It's quite an honor to try to bridge the gap between football and NFTs. The USFL is currently 3 days away from
Yes.
premiering, and they're going to be the first league, as by my knowledge, that will incorporate NFTs to help with player revenue. So it's going to be a new age of trading cards. And of course, my your purpose for bringing me on here is to sort of help those folks who are loving NFL, are diehard NFL fans and diehard just football fans in general, just kind of understand this sort of new age thing. I'm assuming that as we sort of discussed earlier, there's just been more commercials about cryptocurrencies and
Hmm.
NFTs and whatnot being incorporated. People are buying pictures of apes that are $500,000, and people don't.
Insane.
It's
Insane.
insane. And people, I get it. And people think that these things are burning down forests and whatnot. And it's like, ooh, there's a lot of confusion. And I hate using this term, but I have to use it for this time. Disinformation about NFTs, and I want to clear it up. And
Okay.
I think, and I just think that having someone who has a little bit of skin in the game in terms of NFTs is probably a good position to explain it to you rather than some guy trying to understand it and making an opinion about it like the some other articles have. So, well, where to start? I think the best way to start in terms of NFTs is the term itself.
Yes.
NFTs are an acronym for non-fungible tokens. I'm assuming half of your audience went like, what's a non-fungible? Well, I'll slow you down there. I will explain to you what a fungible is in order to you need to know what a fungible is in order to understand what a non-fungible is. So let me get that into that first. So let's say you have a $1 bill in a your everyone's favorite currency, the United States dollar, right? This dollar is interchangeable. This dollar can be interchanged for this dollar. If I were to rip this dollar, it's illegal. I can't do it on camera, but like I do, you get the point. It can
Yes.
be replaced by this dollar, interchangeable. That is then, but here's a little difference. Let's say I go to a USFL game, right? Because that's the topic of tonight. I get Shea Patterson, the quarterback for my boys, the Michigan Panthers, to
Panthers fan
sign
in the
this.
house.
Yep, there we go. To sign his autograph on this dollar. Now, this dollar is now not as fungible, as in not as replaceable as this other dollar, as it was before, because now it has a USFL player's signature on it. It's his autograph. Autographs. I mean, we all know how much autographs can go for.
Hmm.
And before, actually, yeah, autographs can make something unique. It's unique. It's the uniqueness is what makes something non-fungible. It's something that's irreplaceable. Irreplaceable in value. Of course, you can always sign other things and make that things, but that's always, of course, but that's the baseline explanation of what a non-fungible object is. It is unique, and NFTs are, of course, the digital incarnation of said things. They are digital data items, like whether they be, like collectibles, game items, or anything along those lines, but just with a unique identifier on the Ethereum or just other cryptocurrency blockchains in general that state that you are the owner of it. As long as it's in your wallet, you are the owner of it. And as far as I'm concerned, it should be treated as your property. It's your
Hmm.
property, intellectual property. You own this thing like Walt Disney owns the trademark to Mickey Mouse, right? You own that thing. You own this thing, and the little picture up here that Hype has graciously made actually has one of my NFTs in it, and I gave him, of course, permission to do it. It's actually a nice little picture. I actually really do like it. Thank you so much, Hype. Of course, you got an amazing Photoshop talent over there.
Yeah,
And
it's not me personally though. It's actually
oh,
one of the guys in the network. His name
well,
he goes by Day One. Pit Mauler's day one. He does all of our graphics, so
Nice.
it's all him. So.
Well, Pit Maulers, man. God bless. You got a good eye for talent right there, man. Anyways, yeah. So and it's that's basically the baseline general, like, this is what NFT, that's the general baseline. What they can be is, that's a whole separate topic. And well, not separate topic. That's a whole separate branch of this topic. They could be plenty of things. For the most common way that something that is an NFT is just a one of one. Think of it as like a stock photo. So like if I were to take a picture of a just I'm just gonna be funny, a sewage place, right, in New York,
Hmm.
like just for giggles, right, and put it onto the upload it to the OpenSea. That's a one of one. There's no more of it. It's just a one of one. Nothing else. The other kinds of forums are called profile picture projects. This is what my little guy up here is from. It's from the Crypto Cannabis Club. Just for your information. And I'm not trying to shill. Just letting you know. I'm just letting
No,
you know
no,
where
that's
it came
fine.
from.
Oh,
Just wanted to make
absolutely,
sure.
absolutely.
Just wanted to make sure.
Plug away, man. Plug away. It's fine.
Yeah, no, if it's from a profile picture project, which is more of a community-based sort of kind of, I would like to call gated internet communities where you got to
Hmm.
pay to sort of get in. It's club that are a club membership that is brought about via these profile picture NFTs. It's again, it's the way that I would like for people to think is that NFTs aren't just these pictures. It's a technology that can be used as a tool. It's a tool, and people need to start, you know, realizing that it's a tool that can be used for plenty of things. It could be used for bad, it could be used for good. And a lot of people are using it for good, but sometimes when you have a bad actor, people like to use that bad actor, paint the whole picture like that. And
Hmm.
that's what I want to sort of come on here and explain to you, that like that's sort of, while sure there's that kernel of truth, but that doesn't paint the whole picture in this way where that these things are evil bad. These things can actually be used for good. And this sort of brings us to the great, ever wonderful USFL and how what they're going to be doing with NFTs. So the actually, this is sort of your ball game. So I'm assuming everyone knows, coming on here knows what the USFL is. So we don't even need to explain that.
Right,
But
right.
what the USFL is going to be doing, though, is very, very unique. They're going to be, for the first time ever, using, effectively offering player tied NFTs. So I'm assuming the way, assuming as this is how it's going to work, there's going to be a player card that's Shea Patterson, just for the sake of an example, and you can buy that card, and you are supporting the player itself themselves by buying that card. A direct revenue stream like jerseys, helmets, and however other objects that are being used by these players through NFTs. And and of course, the USFL can be doing, and USFL is just a progressive league in general. Of course, as we discussed before the show, the chips in the ball, the two sky cams, the overtime rules, two forward passes, they're incorporating new stuff, trying to make themselves more distinct from even the XFL, actually. Besides, of course, the two forward passes, but I just think that's just a good idea in general. But yeah, it's a crazy wild world. It's very complicated, and I get why people are confused by it. It's, trust me, you'll be pulling your hair out sometimes with some things can be done with these NFTs. But yeah, it's a fun wild world.
And just to run down really quick, it's Blockchain Creative Labs (BCL). The
Yes.
USFL will mint and sell official digital tokens. Its teams, players, and coaches. Players and coaches will have the opportunity to work directly with BCL to create bespoke tokens. Majority of sales revenue will go directly to them via the digital wallet. Using smart contracts on the blockchain, USFL coaches and players will be the first from any professional sports league to receive revenue at that exact time of sale. So it's history in the making
Yes.
for USFL, for professional sports. I know we see
This
it.
is
We see
huge.
it. Yeah, yeah, this is
This is
absolutely
huge.
huge. It's
This
one
is
of a
huge.
kind.
It's it's
Um,
it's it's sim- it is sort of, of course, like this is the new type. This is the digital age trading card. Like
Hmm.
like these things, of course, again, like these things can become ultra valuable, appreciate over time. Of course, nothing is ever guaranteed. Just for the sake of just getting our dotting our I's and crossing our T's here. Nothing's guaranteed. But if this league is successful and the players are good, and from what I've been seeing, that's kind of the case here. Okay, it's just massive. And I will and hopefully it doesn't stop here with the USFL. And the XFL might try to get into this. The NFL themselves might actually try to get into this, or allow their players to create their own NFTs. But this is the
Hmm.
first time where not even and thing is, this they've done this before. The NBA did this, and the NBA was like a forefront runner in terms of just incorporating NFTs into their business model. Of course, it's not just going to be these moments anymore. You are directly now supporting the players that you like by buying those NFTs. And yeah, and the sky's the limit of what they can do with in terms of utility, in terms of these things. And what utility, you're going to be hearing that word phrase a lot. Utility, 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 utility. Utility is simply that. What can you use this thing with? What can you do with it? And that's what separates the good projects from the bad projects. Like when a project is trying to, like there's just certain things that projects try to do with their own things. And for example, with my NFT that I bought into, is that they are specifically trying to make a black card for the cannabis industry. This thing is like you could flash this thing at a cannabis vendor, like, oh wow, now this guy's it. And of course they're going to try and actually have to successfully gotten certain dispensaries to actually offer discounts to people who hold an NF toker, as these guys are called. So these things do have real world value. And the thing is too is that like NFTs aren't limited to just silly little pictures of of apes and monkeys, or dinosaurs and whatnot. It's actually just a whole. It's a tool that you can use, of course, as I've said earlier.
Right, and it's most popular too with the gorillas and apes and things like that. I mean,
Yeah,
I see them
that's
everywhere.
yeah.
If you just Google NFT, that's the first thing that pops
One
up is like a
yeah
gorilla with like some
yeah.
bling teeth and things like that. Grills.
hmm
You know.
Yeah, grills. They're really popular. I don't have one, unfortunately, because I was I was not simply not aware of NFTs, but when they minted. But if I had a time machine, man, I'm going to tell you things would be different. Yeah, these things currently have 100 those. But just speaking of the board apes, in fact, just to sort of tell the audience how valuable these things can get. The floor price, which is just the base rate of like, okay, I want like a common one. Like that's like the cheapest one, 113 Ethereum. 113 Ethereum. Currently, 101 Ethereum is worth around 2 to 3 grand, 4 grand on certain days. So if you do the math on that one, you understand that wow, that's actually really really expensive. Like like
Right.
like to the point that rappers like Lil Baby, Ja Rule, like if you look them up right now, they all have like these bored apes and whatnot. These things are a sort of just a new thing that people are gonna flex. Like that's actually what like a lot of these rappers are getting them for. And the thing is too is that it's not that these things are just pictures. They actually do have their own utility. Bored Ape Yacht Club, it just with that one specifically, it's a club. It's a yacht club. It's a
Hmm.
now it wasn't as simple, but now it quite literally can be a yacht club with like massive connections and whatnot. It's a bougie, fancy country club, really, but just a digital country club. If you think of it like that, people, it's once I explain that to most folks, people are like, "Oh, okay, now I can understand why someone would spend 500 grand on a silly picture of an ape." Like now they could kind of somewhat get behind that, and what people understand too, or people can that's something that some people can now start understanding why some people will just drop that much money, like dropping 20, 30K on a new mint, because you don't know how these things can appreciate in value over time. And yeah, it's just a nutty thing. You're going to be hearing me say that a lot. It's just a nutty thing. And it's a wild, wild world. And now as we said before, USFL is going to get involved with that and with their players. So it's just wow.
It's insane. So let's go ahead and deep dive just a little bit more. For somebody to get started, you need a
And it
Coinbase wallet type
well,
situation.
actually, yeah. So let me. I actually, that's a good question. So the way that you need to get started is you need to be aware of where you can buy NFTs and how you can get them.
Hmm.
There's several ways. There's two major markets that I will highlight right now. There's one called OpenSea. You probably some people have already heard about what OpenSea is. It is sort of the default premier market. Has its flaws, has its pros, but it's some people call it broken sea. People call it shallow puddle. People call it closed ditch. It's just funny. It's just people have their own criticisms of it. Then there's Looks Rare, which is sort of a different kind of open sea, but they do different things to differentiate themselves in terms of competition. They offer you a cryptocurrency by just simply trading. I'm sorry, excuse me. It's trading and selling NFTs on their marketplace. So that means on top of just trading your NFTs, you are getting a cryptocurrency by doing that via their market, which is actually tends to be decently valuable on certain good days. So, and also there's just peer to peer, which is just, hello, I'm going to send this thing to you, and you just send me the amount of Ethereum I want. That's just how it is.
So like
Yeah,
a
that's
simple
how.
transfer, like a Zelle transfer
Yep,
or
yep.
Cash App type thing. Okay.
Yeah, but through of course, MetaMask and whatnot.
Right.
So
Right.
the thing that you will need to get started is a MetaMask wallet. That's the sort of premier decentralized wallet that most people will use besides Coinbase. It's not a it there's no KYC, which is a know your client situation. So they will not ask for your ID or anything like that in order to use it. You can connect your Coinbase wallet to it. So if you already have Coinbase, you can always send your Ethereum over there. MetaMask is the most by far most popular way to have most popular wallet to have. And of course there's these are they are I don't have one, but I will definitely show you what these things can look like. But they are these little USB sticks, and they
Hmm.
can also store your NFTs and even your crypto just off the chain. And that's by far the most secure way to do it. So if you don't, and because sometimes these things do get hacked, like
Right.
Axie Infinity had $600 million of assets stolen via
Mm.
just old contract exploits, and again, like if people saying like to the people saying, oh, these things have no value, then why are hackers attacking these things? Like if these things have no value, then why are these things getting stolen? And
Mhm.
it's these things do have value. And as the world gets more and more increasingly digital, it's going to be it's the idea of a virtual property that isn't tied to some service like CS:GO or Fortnite and whatnot, like with these digital items, is not an unprecedented idea. People have been speaking of, you know, like this cryptography property for a long time, even before Bitcoin was even a mind in an idea in Satoshi Nakamoto's mind. It's again, this is something that's been inevitable for a long time, and it's just a whole yeah, it's something that's going to be here to stay. And sorry, haters. It's like it's here to stay. Like, I don't know what to tell people. And like it's and when people sort of like talk to me about it, and they do understand that, like they understand that this is something that it's just sort of inevitable. And of course there's things to improve with the technology. Of course it does use a decent amount of energy, but there are improvements on the way. And to sort of shift into what supports a blockchain and whatnot, because I do believe informing your wonderful viewers that about what a blockchain is definitely going to help expand their definition and understanding of what even an NFT is. So
Mhm.
Ethereum is the primary network, the cryptocurrency that is used to trade and facilitate NFT transactions and smart contracts. Ethereum is was developed by a founder, a man named Vitalik. I can't remember his last name, but Vitalik is what is his name. He is like he's the Satoshi Nakamoto to Ethereum. He was like Satoshi Nakamoto, for those who don't know, he's the attributed creator to Bitcoin, because we don't know who this guy is till this day. People think it's some Asian guy. Not him. Like, it's just a random picture that you'll find. So no one really knows who this guy is. But Vitalik has been more of a public figure. You know who he is. You can find him on Twitter, like, right now. He's probably tweeting about something silly. Yeah, you can always find him in some. You always find him in some silly situations at cryptocurrency conferences and whatnot. And yeah, that's who created Ethereum. Ethereum is, you know, like Bitcoin, a decentralized cryptocurrency with a public ledger tracking all and every transaction on the network, every single one. And I'm going to find that. I'm sorry about that. But sorry, I lost my train of thought. Oh, we're talking about Ethereum's decentralization. So think of it like this way. Whenever you have an Ethereum and want to spend it on something like, I don't know, like an NFT, right? And you click that buy button. What happens is that your wallet goes to the network, asks the network, hey, I'm going to spend this. I have one Ethereum and I'm going to spend it on this NFT. The ledger is going to do a bunch of things. It actually only asks not so doesn't ask less questions than your bank does whenever you go on a vacation to the Bahamas. I'm serious about that. Like, so it'll ask you. It asks effectively three questions. Do you have the money to both pay the actual transaction and the gas fee, which is how miners get paid for having their computers computational power to contribute to this network of whole network of just of the public ledger. And do you actually have the and can did you just say yes? And if all those questions have been answered, the transaction is gone. And also, they also check for your history to make sure that there isn't any bull crap or anything like that trying to hid. So, and this all the computers on the network do this for almost effectively every transaction. So that's why sometimes Ethereum gas fees can go so high, because like, it's all these computers trying to just figure out what's going on. And the reason why I say decentralized, because, well, there's no sole arbiter of Ethereum. There's no government controlling Ethereum. Like, there's not going to be one day where Vitalik gets on and types in, I want to add 10 billion more Ethereum, or Satoshi Nakamoto going to come on one day and just type in, I want 10 million more Bitcoin. For Bitcoin, there's only ever going to be 21 million. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Fact. Written in blood. Like, it is a statement of fact. It is as much of a fact as if I were to go on the Empire State Building in New York and jump off, I know for a fact I'm going to fall and not fly. Like, that hard of a fact. It is hard fact. So it's sort of, so that's why I'm very, very let's call it bullish on these concepts, because it is a sort of a very resistant to these currencies are very resistant to inflation, governmental whatnot, governmental regulation, very resistant. China has banned Bitcoin 7 times at this point, like, effectively banned Bitcoin 7 times. But yeah, all that happens is that some of the miners move to either Texas, Florida, or just some other state or country that isn't China, and then they just keep moving, going about their business. Bitcoin has a bull run. We've seen this story play out on many times. The only sacrifice you're kind of going with it is that, well, there's now more volatility, because now, since there's the volatility, means that, like, well, you notice that, like, Bitcoin can have like a 10% up, then a 20% down, then a 50% rise the other day. It's just,
Mm-hmm.
that's how it is. People are willing to trade a little bit of stability for a lot more freedom. And this way that I can buy someone a coffee in England without having to go through customs or anything, or having to trade my pounds into my my great old United States dollarinos to great old pounds or quid or whatever the heck they like to call those things over there. So yeah, it's again, sorry if your head's spinning, but that's it's sort of, and I'm making sure this is all being explained well, and hopefully everyone's understanding this. But this again, it is a complicated subject. I understand that completely. But once people understand this and clicks, and the thing is, it is under people from the newer generation, the younger generation, like Gen Zs onward, millennials, they do get that, they understand this. So, but not so much with the Gen Xers. But there are some Gen Xers that are on the nose with some of this. That's why you'll hear Elon Musk get really excited about Dogecoin because I mean, it is a meme coin, but it does have some pros. Again, wild, wild time. You know,
Yeah, I
Ugh.
also seen as far as like when it comes to the virtual world, um, over
Metaverse is like as they like to call
metaverse,
it.
metaverse, right? Metaverse. I picked up my daughter an Oculus, and the next day we seen like a news flash or a news clip where you can go into this digital world and buy somebody a cup of coffee digitally. A
Yeah,
virtual cup of coffee or a virtual whatever the case may be. It's just insane, and we're just blown away by
yeah,
it. So it was just
yeah. Eventually, there might be a time where, and hopefully it never goes to Ready Player One levels of dystopian. But
yeah.
there's
I
just
mean,
a point where if you're just kind of bored, just bored and wanting to put your VR headset on, and you're just exploring the metaverse and whatnot, you'll just pull up to a DoorDash stand and whatnot and order wings or something like that, and they'll
mhm.
have it delivered to your house. Again, with Bitcoin, of course. That's what I'm hoping. That's how everyone, instead of these Zuck bucks, as Mark Zuckerberg, that lovely man. Let's just put
Yeah,
it
yeah,
nicely here. We
yeah.
have to keep it clean for this podcast. So yeah, is trying to push onto us, but yeah, again, and now with kind of bringing it back to the USFL, man, they can do so much with these things, and
Mhm.
they can honestly, they might have a section in future games where this is the NFT section, NFT VIP section, where if you just have a player card and if your player's playing, you can go into that. Again, this is me spitballing here. This is something that, again, I don't know what the USFL is going to do with their NFTs, but this is something that they could possibly do. They can have it like a pass or something like that where you can buy and you can just get into this. Once you buy a ticket, you can just redeem it and you can get into a section and something like that. And they can shout you out on the Jumbotron, like, yo, NFT section, do this, and like have like a little dance off or something like that. Right. And they can, again, the possibilities
They're
are,
endless.
they're endless.
They
And,
are.
it is overwhelming for some folks, but I mean, that's unfortunately how some things are. Like
Mhm.
it's eventually though, people are just start understanding it. People are going to realize that, hey, these things aren't so bad. These things are actually pretty darn cool. And hey, if you can't beat them,
Join them.
join them.
Yeah,
Get
join them.
like
Join them.
join them. It's so again, it's there's just so much you can do with these things. And now there's this new league, the pay again, 3 days away
Three
from
days. Yes.
3 days. It's unbelievable. I am just so excited. I'm a little too excited for this. I might have to lower my expectations a little bit, but honestly, I'm so excited for this new league to start. I'm ready for this thing to get going. And now this new league is trying to get super progressive with some these amazing ideas, and we're going to be getting, yeah, again, it's just going to be just so cool. It's going to be so cool. Oh my goodness, man! I'm just can't wait for these two worlds of football, NFTs, and crypto. Boom! I'm gonna mash together to this amazing little pie. It's gonna be incredible.
And they
And
just announced today too that it's going to be worldwide as far as viewership. It's going to be listed. It's going to be viewed in 130 countries.
amazing.
It's going to be incredible. I think the outcome is going to be amazing for the
I
fans of football around the world,
Yep.
for us at the USFL Network,
Yep.
for when it comes to crypto, when it comes to this whole platform of blockchains, cryptocurrencies, anything and everything involved, NFT wise. It's just going to help everyone. It's gonna bring everything up. It's just gonna, it, like you
It it
said,
it it's a
it's
positive upstream, dude. It's
it
a
is it is.
constant positive upstream. And and until recently, until hopefully recently, I've heard people saying like, okay, spring leagues have always failed. People, they've always
Right,
never have
right,
enough
yeah.
money to get on. But now there's two spring leagues.
Mm-hmm.
We got the XFL and we got our this brand new baby, the USFL, and both are owned by people who do have a lot of money and are passionate about this sport. Fox loves this sport. Like Fox Sports. Like everyone watches Fox Sports at a certain point.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably one of the best, like, neutral, clean state, like, just networks for sports. I will never get mad watching like a Fox Sports one. They always got good commentators. Like I mean, CBS is there. NBC, I just don't like NBC, man. They're just so weird, man. I don't know what's going on over there. They always complain about. They make some good points about the NFL, but then they always make it like, oh, rich people are bad. Like they're and like and they do that while they also have yachts in their and use private jets to get around everywhere. So it's like, I don't know, man. You gotta change your tactic, NBC, and maybe we can start having a little, get together. But like, but yeah. Besides that, again, it's just there's this positive upcharge energy of just a sports league for the first time ever incorporating NFTs with the players, directly supporting the players. And of course, we don't know really. You and I don't really both don't really know what they're going to do with them beyond that sort of basic premise. But what they can do is just, okay, again, as we said, just endless.
Right, right. I mean, in
Endless.
addition, the BCL, they will mint and drop a series of limited edition Genesis tokens for each team throughout the season.
Oh
On
yeah.
Discord, fans will use the tokens to unlock like access to into gated team channels for exclusive content and free
Yep.
merchandise while gaining, first
Yep.
access to future USFL related NFTs. So, I mean, they have an idea, but they haven't released exactly what they are. Um,
Utility. We don't know,
right,
really know
right.
what the utility beyond just helping players, which is already a good one.
Hmm.
Don't get either of us wrong. That is incredible already. Like, that is incredible. I will gladly put down some Ethereum to help Shea Patterson, or Chris Odom for the gamblers. I had a nice little conversation with him on the Discord. So yeah, again, beyond that, I mean, it's up to them, really. And I think hopefully they are like, yeah, let's just take it to like the umph degree, like let's go crazy with it, like. And again, my goodness, I'm at a loss for words because again, there's just so much they can do. But
Yes.
but yeah, the Genesis token, something that's going to be definitely something that's going to be on the lookout for, because you don't they might actually have it like how Green Bay has it. Like, hey, if you have a Genesis token, you might actually be able to get into like how Green Bay does it with their shares. You actually own a part of the team. You actually own a part of the franchise with their shares. Like
Hmm.
Green Bay, of course, for those who don't know, Green Bay Packers are a publicly traded franchise. So
Right.
ownership is done via shares that they very limitedly open up to the public, of course. So like they don't just let anybody buy in, because like that would be a lot of drama for the ownership. Like who has to show up where at what meetings when all like 32 teams have to come together and talk about whether they're going to do with Dan Snyder. Just oh my goodness! Don't get me started on that guy. My God.
Yeah,
Anyway,
no, that's fine. No, no worries, no worries. So, also, I wanted to bring up too, NFTs. They're going to exist on, of course, on a blockchain, a
yes,
digital public ledger that records transactions and makes it virtually impossible to cheat the system. So,
virtually impossible. Yes.
yeah, exactly. So, for those that are concerned about hacking and things like that, they're going to make it
This
as
is
safe as possible.
Yeah, so that's the other thing too. They are going to be offering their own marketplace for this.
Mhm.
So they're going to be presuming like that is presuming like they of course they do it with Ethereum. They are just it's going to be their own website that they're going to drop in the Discord. They have if you were to go to the official USFL Discord right now, you'll see that there's a little text bubble thing, a little chat thing that's text thing that says NFT drops right here. There's just they will it's all kind of controlled right there. Now, of
Right.
course, I'm always a decentralized guy, like I'm always like this, but again, NFTs don't have to necessarily be on like OpenSea and whatnot to be decentralized and whatnot. It's sort of there shouldn't be just one market to rule them all. Kind of defeats the point of decentralization and freedom basically, right? So they have the freedom to make their own marketplace. And I think it will be a wise decision to do that because they can, it's all so the accountability is on them to make sure it's all secure and there's not going to be any confusion on where the heck am I supposed to get my, Shea Patterson NFT, right? Like
Right. Right.
it's going to be on the USFL's official channels, of course. And
Right.
I
And
think
it's. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, I want you to
No,
talk,
no.
man.
So it's not like it's going to be like the old school ways, the old school days where like you only had like two choices with your cable company or telephone company. You
Yeah,
had, it's
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 going to
a
be diversified. It's going to be
right,
more than
right,
just
right.
one, like again, it's just this sort of again, they have so much there's so much they can do with this and like they can there's so much again, there's just so much they can do and now they're putting their foot forward, they're putting their foot down saying yeah, like we're going to do this, and like I saw a little bit of pushback to this
Mhm.
on the Discord with the gated community chats, but like they're like putting their foot down on it, like yeah, like we're gonna do this, and like like we think that this is gonna be a good idea, and that's good because like some people like video game companies, Sega is gonna be. I'm assuming you know what Sega is, right?
Of course.
Yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog. I mean,
Absolutely.
Sonic the Hedgehog. I mean, we're actually my favorite franchise from them is Yakuza. Yakuza is like that is ooh, that's a good game.
Okay.
Like Sonic the Hedgehog, get out of here. Like run away. Like get out. No, Yakuza's where it's at. Yakuza's where it's at. But yeah, like they're gonna be they recognize the potential that these things have. And of course the gaming community always hates NFTs. They just hate them
Mhm.
because oh, I can't get my new computer up and running because this crypto guy stole my graphics card to help win this crypto farm. Don't blame that guy. The people who make those graphics cards don't have enough silicon. Like, there's literally not enough silicon to go around for everybody. Okay, I'm sorry, it's dog eat dog world out here. Okay, like you just gotta. Some people, you just gotta just let things happen sometimes, man. And hey, like I'm a gamer and a crypto guy, man. I get
Mhm.
both perspectives, and yeah, it's just yeah. Again, until of course the silicon situation resolves itself, that's always going to be a perceptive thing. But again, companies, when you take a sort of neutral, clean case look at this, you'll understand that, hey, Gary Vaynerchuk is in this, Snoop Dogg's in this, like the people who have business minds and want to know what to do in terms of wanting to make do stuff. They see NFTs and they see that, like I said before, positive upstream of just there's just going to be a lot of energy behind this. There's going to be people who want to get in, they want to get their teeth wet, they're hungry and they want to get some stuff. They want some digital profile pictures that they own. And the thing is too, Twitter, the very platform that you and I communicated on for the sake of organizing this little get together,
Mhm.
has a function where you can verify the fact that the NFT in your profile picture is actually real, and they will make you a customized hexagonal profile picture,
Mhm.
like for Twitter. Like that is like if that's like that is so much of an endorsement. It's not even funny. It's not even funny how much like that is a endorsement. Like that is again, people hear this again. These people who are probably smarter than the average person who doesn't like NFTs. Just to be fair, I'm sorry, but like to the folks who don't like NFTs, they understand that like, hey, look, like this isn't the next big thing. People are getting into it. We got to get into it. Like if we're there, the train is about to leave this station, and if we don't get it on, it'll probably never come back. We got to get on right now. Like they're just pushing themselves onto the train. There's like it's a hustling, bustling train station here. You'll see like the USFL's getting in there right beforehand. Twitter's getting in there, and then you're going to see all these other companies are starting piling in because they understand what these things can do. And also too for the independent artists that want to like offer their work through a platform that will actually give them all the money that they actually deserve. This is going to be incredible for those people. I'm going to tell you that right now. Artists are going to, once they understand what's going on here, they'll be like, wait a minute. You mean if I can actually put this thing on here, I get a valuable currency that will, of course, possibly increase with value as time happens. And it's just an actual good asset to have in general, like gold was and silver was, and just guns and other things just are just like it's just another thing like this, man. It just makes sense. It just makes
Hmm.
sense. And those like and other thing too is just like for those people who just get mad about these silly pictures going for so much money. Art speculation has been a thing forever. Art speculation thing has
Hmm.
just been a thing for forever. It's just been a thing, and it's I can't do anything about it. Like I'm just here, I'm just sitting here
Right, right,
in my bedroom. I can't do anything about it. I don't see you being able to do anything about it, hype. And
right, right.
so I just guess we're just both gonna let this happen. We're just gonna let this happen. It's the train's rolling, man. And like I just say, just get out of the way, man. Don't get run over by it. Like it's just like just let it pass. Do your own thing. But hey, it's the doors are open for you to jump on there and ride it to the end. And I'm on it. If you want to join me, hey, come on. You have a seat at the table here. You have the ability to change the course of this train track right here with us. If not, well, hey man, there's always other things you can do. I mean, of course, there's always the 401(k)s and whatnot. There's stocks. That's always still going to be around. But again, man, it's just people just got to just realize that hey, this is going to be the new thing. This is going to be a new thing right here, right now, and that's how and it's going to stay like that. And of course, there are criticism against NFTs, and of course, those are some decent amount. Some of them not so valid. Some of them fairly valid. Of course, like environmental stuff is something that is somewhat of an issue with NFTs, but that's more of that's more of a systematic thing rather than like a NFT thing. If you catch my drift, like
Hmm.
the kind of power is going to be dependent on where you literally set up your machine. People cannot control that. It is irrational for people these people to think that I can control the fact that whether or not my house is powered by the sun, nuclear power, or oil. It's just going to be how it is. It's
Hmm.
just like I mean I don't know where I mean I'm really aware where you live, but I'm assuming you either are
I'm in
powered by
Boston.
Boston. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
and there you go. Well, I'm assuming Boston's powered by oil. Like, oh, it's hype. The fact that you're doing this show, it's bad for the environment. It's bad for the environment. That's just immature. I get that. I get that mindset. I used to have that
Hmm.
mindset, but then I started reading stuff. I started thinking, and I'm like,
Thinking
that's
outside the
kind.
box,
I
though.
thinking outside the box, of
Yes,
course, right?
yes.
And I was like, well, that's just kind of just sort of an unfair position to put some people in. It's like,
Hmm.
and actually, funny thing is, most crypto folks who mine, that's how they and mining for the general folks
Not
is
Minecraft. You know.
Minecraft. Love that game, by the way. Actually, funny things, there is a bunch of Minecraft NFTs going
Yes,
around with
yes.
using actual Minecraft. So that's once taking off. I think it has it's called NFT Worlds. It has its own little currency,
Hmm.
and you can do gasless transactions of a Ethereum based token on via Minecraft servers that are actual NFTs.
That's insane. I
That's
love
nuts.
Minecraft.
I love
You
Minecraft
know,
too.
I
I did a
I
lot of
seen that too. That's why it was just insane to bring
yeah,
up and just to see.
I again, it's and now that plus football.
Hmm.
And dude, I'm just so excited for this league in general, man. I love the
You're
teams.
hyped.
I'm so hyped. I'm just so hyped for this league. It's just going to be so insane. It's it's all up from here. I'm hoping that this people latch onto this league as actually we did actually discussed this a little bit before Baseball is happening again. Thank you.
Hmm.
They agreed. Let's just call it that.
Yeah, for now. Yeah.
Agreed for now.
For
I think
now.
they're it's stuff. It's not a hot war. It's a bit of a cold war. Like they're just getting along for the sake of just like, hey, it's bad for you if this league is if we don't have a season this year, and it's bad for us if we don't have a season this year. So let's just forget about this for right now. Kick the can down the road. Let's just have a season.
Right. Both sides are losing money. They realize that. So let's get something
Yeah,
in
let's
gear.
like that.
Let's get it
That
going.
99 turned into almost 100.
Yeah.
Like it was down to the wire. Like how
Hmm.
quickly these guys were like, yeah, we need to like just do this league. Funny thing is that whenever spring league football is on, whenever there's a new league, it gets more views than baseball games.
Hmm.
It does. It does. Tends to do it. There is a There is a need for football beyond the NFL season beginning and ending. People just love the sport. Americans love this sport. And for those who, those international viewers, of course, who also love football,
We
you
have
don't.
them. Absolutely,
We
we
do,
do.
we
Oh
do,
yeah,
we
we
do,
do.
we do, we do. But I want to explain to them a little bit that like they don't really know how much Americans love football. Like they love love football. So like it is so ingrained into a society, man. It's absolutely nuts. It's like high schools will just cheer will gather Friday night for varsity football. Like I mean, you and I have seen our high schools presumably like having filled bleachers for their games.
Friday Night Lights, man.
Yeah, and everyone again, it's like of course there's always of course basketball is pretty hype around the world, but of course America, that's always a thing. I would love to go courtside on a Detroit Pistons game when they're good, of course. But they actually used to be pretty hype from what I've heard. But yeah, again, dude, there's this love for football, and of course now these people are again going to be introduced to this new thing, this
Hmm.
NFTs, man, and cryptocurrency. And actually, funny thing is too, the NFL. I think the Jacksonville Jaguars are now starting to accept cryptocurrency payments for tickets and whatnot. It's like it's starting to catch on. The people who have the ability to, who have are big businesses and whatnot, are realizing the potential of this scene of this stuff, and they just got to be a part of this energy. Like I said before, positive upstream, just positive upstream. They just want to be a part of this positive energy. They see just this explosion of this positive aura. They want to get right into the center, the epicenter of this, and just start munching on it. And that's good because I think the more people understand what NFTs are, the better they'll become, the better that they will do, and it's just again just all good things, of course. Yeah. Oh,
Definitely, definitely. Now, before we end the show, of course, I want to just bring up too. We mentioned before, there's always a risk,
yes, yes.
and
Let's
it's not like your traditional checking savings account where it's
yes.
FDIC insured
Yes.
for 250,000 per
Yeah.
account holder. You know what I
If
mean?
you
So it's
Yeah, let me actually I can take this head on here. I'm going to tell you this. Do not, and I repeat this, do not buy NFTs based off what I just said in this show. This is what I want this sort of what I said here. I did not even touch sort of the tip of the iceberg of what it comes to NFTs and what they can do and whatnot. But please, 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 please do your own research when it comes to
yes.
this stuff, man. Please. People have lost actual money, a lot of money to scams
Hmm.
that look really deceiving. Please, please, please do your own research, man. If that comes with anything with financial stuff, of course, I always recommend just doing your own research, man. There's a lot of resources here. OpenSea has a thing called the non fungible token Bible. It's just that's sort of what I've been using to sort of read off to you guys. There's a lot of information about this, a new field. Please, again, do not invest this is, do not take anything I say in this show or what Hype said in the show as genuine financial advice. I am not
Right,
qualified
right.
to give that. I am just a guy who has a skin in the game, and want you to just I want you to explain. I wanted to explain to people what these things are and what these things can do. And of course, I believe these things have a lot of potential. But again, there's always a chance that let's say this league unfortunately flops, and then these NFTs become worthless.
Hmm.
Like again, there's always this chance. But of course, it's always good to have the positive outlook. Like I said before, positive upstream and whatnot. And that's really what, of course, if that wasn't made clear, I'm making this clear like right now. In fact, maybe you can even put this little warning in before the show. Do your own, do your own research.
Right,
Please
right. No,
do your
exactly.
own research. Do not just take out a mortgage and buy a second mortgage and buy into Bitcoin just because I told you a very positive story about just NFTs in general, man. Don't do that, please. Just be smart about it. If you are going to do that, at least know what you're about to get into. You know.
Right.
So again, if you do anything based off the show, we're claiming no responsibility here
Absolutely not.
because
No,
because
no responsibility.
because again, this is and I'm going to tell you, I will tell you right now, I wish I would have gotten into cryptocurrency first before I bought my NFTs. I'm
Hmm.
just going to tell you that right now. Not saying I've lost money on NFTs. I can sell this thing, anytime, for at least over what I paid for it. But I'm going to tell you right now, do not, please do not buy NFTs based off what you just heard in the show. Do your own research. That's just the most
Absolutely.
responsible I could be. Again, we can of course be talking hype. We can be hyped about it. That's what we are doing. We're just having a good time, conversation, trying to help you understand what these things are. But I do not want you just taking this information saying, "Yep, I'm going to buy a Bored Ape for 500K." Don't do that.
Right.
Please. Don't or if you are going to do that, do your own research first.
Hmm.
Then you can do that. Then we can start talking.
And
You know?
that's what this episode was all about, just to
Yes.
get familiar with NFTs, blockchains, things like that. It's nothing that we're saying or have mentioned that is set in stone or a guideline or
Yeah.
regulation, anything like that.
This
It's just information purposes only. You
it,
know.
the way that I would like for people to entertain is just a nice friendly conversation
Right.
between just two dudes who just love both football and just want to learn about NFTs.
Hmm.
I saw again how we met is that we were both got onto the USFL Discord when it first premiered,
Hmm.
and he was just looking for someone to just have a nice conversation about NFTs, and I was like, well, might as well do it, man, because I want to get some positive. Again, I just love talking about these things, man. And of course, I will tell you right now, this is just, of course, we've been out here for 50 minutes, man. This thing could go on for like
It could.
hours and hours.
And this
And
podcast, there's so much out there you can listen to,
yes,
but I
so
mean, it
much.
can go on
There's
for so long.
yes, and of course, you know, uh, I'm gonna say, of course, there's just again, this is not an NFT based podcast. It is a USFL based podcast that has, of course, a guest who has invested into NFTs.
Right.
Not This is not an NFT podcast. That's not going to be something. Yeah, no, I don't think that would be an unfair expectation on you, hype. That would not be that, and I would be very uncomfortable if like people started coming here for actual NFT advice just because I just was very excited about them and I'm very excited about this league. I'm just excited about this stuff.
No,
Don't take that
absolutely. No,
yeah.
absolutely.
And don't take
Eh,
my excitement about these as just actual financial advice because that's sort of a dangerous thing to do. Like that's very dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. Yeah. Anyways. So,
No, I mean this is what talking with hype is all about. It's this is my first episode doing it. On my own, and I wanted to discuss NFTs, and you were the
yeah.
perfect individual to reach out to and say,
Yeah.
"Hey, would you like to come on and talk NFT?" It's nothing set in stone. We're just having a conversation. We're
Yeah.
just spreading the information out there, and that's all it is. Information purposes only, and we're having fun with it.
Yeah.
My next episode might be something completely different, but this
Yeah.
one right here is NFT, and
Yeah.
I'm so grateful that you had come on with me and
Yep.
discuss NFT. So I appreciate it. And bro, before we do go, because
Yep.
we're calling you bro because that's what you asked for. Of course,
Yep.
you go by bro.
Yep.
On Twitter, you're at pros NFT. Where else can we
Yep.
find you?
Well, you can act really. It's just Twitter's kind of like my main spot. You can
Okay.
find me on pro. It's at pros NFT. You can on Twitter. You'll find me as token bros pros because that's technically my
Hmm.
full user tag. But for sake of hype, we just called myself bro and whatnot. And it's that's really my main spot. If of course, there's also my Discord, but that's I'll give that out based on a case by case basis. Of course,
Right.
I
Right.
don't it's like a phone number to me, so like I don't just
No,
give
absolutely,
anybody my Discord.
absolutely.
So it's if you want to check me out, man, I'm not an influencer. I don't really have no desire to be an influencer. I'm just a dude who just is on Twitter and just says some silly stuff every once in a while, of course. And yeah, of course, the one thing that you might find about me is that I really, really love Nintendo and I love Elden Ring. I love Elden Ring.
All
Yeah,
right.
you'll be hearing me talk about. Oh, I could have a. If you think I'm talking about NFTs for a while, oh boy, Elden Ring. I love it so much. Anyways, yeah, dude. Again, it's an honor to be on this podcast with you, Mr. Hype, dude. Again, you had thank you for graciously letting me on in here, just rant to you in some intangible stuff about for around 50 minutes, man. It's been an incredible opportunity.
No, it was great information. It was a great conversation.
Yep.
Hopefully, whoever may be watching and listening afterwards get something out of it and open their mind up to the NFT
Yeah.
world, the
Yeah.
the community. Check it out for yourself. Do your own research, and
Please. Please.
yes,
Please.
yes, do your
Please.
own research, and of
If you
course,
if I hear any talk about I went on a USFL's network. They suck. They told me to get into these NFTs. You're dumb. You're officially dumb. Like
exactly.
it's declared by me, pros NFT. You can quote it right here. You can you can put a little special effect quoted by me. You're officially dumb right here. Actor effects.
Uh,
Anyways, ah, dude,
Bro,
incredible
thank you
time.
so much, man. I appreciate it. Stay on with me while
Of course.
we leave the show. But thank you so much once again for joining me. It was great. And this is the USFL Network. This is Talking with Hype. And I want to thank Bro once again for coming on. And definitely keep in touch, of
Of course.
course. All
Yes.
right.
Go
So again,
Panthers, by the way.
yes, go Panthers, go
Go
USFL.
Panthers,
The season starts in 3 days,
dude.
so it's going to
I'm
be amazing.
I'm gonna tell you guys. I think we are about to witness history. And again, thank you for having me on right before this grasp of just we're on the grasp of this league making history. And of course, I'm hoping that this momentum from just either just NFTs, not even just NFTs, just hype in general for this league
Hmm.
and of course, you even saw like the before this league even started, just the Birmingham is just loving this. They
Oh yeah.
declared that in a couple
Yes.
days, April 16th, USFL Day.
USFL Day.
It is
Yes.
USFL Day, and that is just so. It's again. It's not even like it's like how Twitter is with the hexagons profile
Hmm.
pictures. That's not even just so much of an endorsement. It's not even funny. I want this league to succeed so bad because I do not want to just after the NFL ends and the draft stuff comes and free market stuff, just sitting there waiting until like the football season starts. We have another option just to start watching. And let's say if
Hmm.
the NFL starts doing some stupid stuff, we now can just wait till the spring leagues comes on and have a good time
Exactly.
there. You know,
Have the
it's
option.
competition. It's competition, options,
Hmm.
decentralization. And it's freedom.
Definitely.
Freedom. There you go.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining me and listening. This has been Talking with Hype. This is Bro. You can find him on Twitter at Pros NFT. Bro, thank you so much. You have a great night,
You're very welcome,
and
my friend.
we'll see you next time.